Bracing your core is one of the most important concepts that you need to learn when it comes to lifting weights. Now, everyone distinguishes core as some other part of the torso. Some people consider the whole torso the core. I'm going to refer to the core as anything from below the chest down, both on the front and the back. Now, when people experience lower back pain, the reason is we don't usually actively flex the lower back when we pick things up. The body automatically does that. So let's say I go to pick something up. All right, let's say I'm picking up 100 pounds and I don't know how to brace my core. Chances are my lower back is gonna lift at least 90 to 95 pounds of that 100 pounds. Now, the lower back is gonna pick up a majority of that load and the core is just chilling there, relaxing. That's one of the main reasons why people experience lower back pain, is they're overworking their back. Now, that's not the only reason. There are a ton of other reasons, but this is one of the most common reasons. Now, let's say I know how to brace my core and I'm picking up that 100 pounds again from the ground, and I know how to brace the core. I can evenly distribute that 100 pounds, maybe 50 in the front, 50 in the back, to help support that weight that I'm lifting up. Now, how do we brace the core? It's simple. You've probably been tickled before, all right, as weird as this sounds, but when you get tickled, or let's say someone's crushing you for some reason, you usually tense up, and normally you notice the core tenses up as well. Like if you've ever been poked in the side, you get tight. Or my favorite, let's say, hopefully you've been in the situation where you've wrestled with someone in your younger years, or let's say someone pretends to punch you in the stomach, you're gonna brace for that punch, okay? So it's not, I don't wanna say the cue is to push the stomach out, because sometimes people think that cue is pushing it out like that. That's not bracing the core. That's just me pushing my stomach out. Again, the best cue is thinking someone's gonna punch you in the stomach and you need to prepare for that impact. One of my other favorite things to use for my clients, sometimes what I'll do is I'll wrap a band. It doesn't have to be this specific band, but something similar around their core, and this shirt can be on. I'm just leaving my shirt off for demonstration purposes so you can see the core actually contract. All right, so let me get this nice and even. So what I'll do is I'll have them stand here relaxed, and then I'll tell them brace the core or get tight, and they'll notice from the feedback that the band will expand and increase in pressure because they're bracing their core. So you can actually see this is relaxed, this is tight, this is relaxed, this is tight. Another way I like to demonstrate that is actually poking yourself in the stomach. Mine might be a little bit excessive just because I have not super low body fat, but you can actually see somewhat of the six pack. But if I push all the way in, right, that's relaxed. And if I tighten, you can see my core is actually pushing my fingers out. So there's so many different cues and ways to learn how to brace your core. And one of the main reasons you need to learn how to brace it, like I said, is to prevent lower back pain. And so that way you help create what we call intra-abdominal pressure to help just provide support for the body to lift heavy things, such as when you're deadlifting or when you're squatting. You need a nice, rigid, and stable core in order to lift those things, or else you would fold and get crushed. One of the other things I forgot to mention when talking about intra-abdominal pressure is breathing, which is also super necessary and a very key thing that we need. So if you're having trouble bracing the core, one other cue that I like to give is inhaling really big and exhaling every little bit of air that you have in your lungs, so that it looks like this. Right there, that's tightness. Do that a few times. Inhale. Breathe out everything you have. All right, and that should get you to brace your core. Now, hopefully, once you get a hang of it, you can brace it without having to exhale. Right now, I'm making it look easier than it is because I know how to brace the core. It's nice and tight. Now, when you lift heavy weights or just lift in general, we want to take a nice big inhale. Let's say I have a weight on the back of my back. I'm squatting. And I'm going to squat a super heavy weight. I want to inhale nice and big. Get the core nice and tight, hold it, squat, and then exhale, and then re-inhale and get tight. That's intra-abdominal pressure. That helps provide support and tightness, so that way lifting the heavier weight is gonna be easier than if we weren't bracing.